So, good morning, everyone. I'm going to present my paper on Amblyopia School, a concept of congenial compliance. I have no financial disclosures. As we know, compliance to amblyopia therapy depends on parental education. However, in developing countries, illiteracy and poverty act as major challenges. Our institution is nearly a century old. This concept of amblyopia school originated here in 1960s. Dr. Keith Lyle started the Department of Pediatric Ophthalmology under the leadership of the famous Padma Shri Dr. M.P. Mere, who initiated this mode of therapy for amblyopic children. Here, we were just wanted to study the concept of amblyopia school and the visual outcomes of occlusion therapy in rural setting, where children in general tend to be poorly compliant. Our primary objective was to see the visual outcome of amblyopic treatment at clinic versus at home, and analyze the speed of visual improvement in both the groups. Uh, Ours was a retrospective cohort study done for 3 years. Inclusion criteria were children of age 3 to 15 years. Anisometropic strabismic amblyopic patients were included. Visual acuity being less than 612 in the War's eye and at least a two-line difference in Snell's notation. Children with ametropic sensory deprivation, amblyopia, ocular comorbidities, developmental delay, and history of intraocular surgeries were excluded. Also, children who had undergone patching previously were excluded. So at diagnosis, we prescribed optical correction along with 6 weeks of refractive adaptation, followed by patching of the dominant eye based on PEDIC protocol. All parents were advised to get admitted. Those who had agreed underwent patching therapy in a classroom format along with 10 to 15 other children in a friendly but competitive environment supervised by a trained coordinator. They were discharged at 1 month and continued treatment at home and reviewed 3 monthly. Those who did not agree to getting admitted were educated about amblyopia therapy, and parents were advised to maintain log and everyday therapy details. Initial review was done after 1 month and thereafter 3 monthly. These are file pictures of the amblyopia school, children conducting the amblyopia therapy, and a few of the near work done by them. A total of 219 patients were analyzed, of which 122 had clinic treatment and 97 had undergone home treatment. First follow-up had no dropouts. However, at second follow-up, 85 clinic treated patients and 49 home treated patients were retained. Others were lost to follow-up. Data was analyzed to obtain final visual outcome, speed of visual improvement, visual outcome based on age, and based on severity of amblyopia. Parameters used to evaluate a visual outcome where difference in Snell's lines, pre and post logMAR values, and proportion of change, which is a formula proposed by Mosley et al. As we see over here, first follow-up, the post-treatment BCVA showed significant improvement in clinic patients as compared to home-treated patients in terms of both logMAR as well as Snell's values. Group caught up with the in terms of logMAR values. However, the Snell's lines were still statistically show the speed of visual improvement. The steeper blue line represent the clinic treated patients. In both the curves, they showed a sharp improvement in vision in the initial month in the clinic treated patients as compared to the red line signifying home treatment. Age-wise as well, we could see that patients performed better, as well as based on severity, we could see that the severe amblyopic patients did better at clinic than at home. Coming to discussion, our final visual outcome in clinic treated patients was at home treated counterpart, which was comparable to the results by Amari and Menon et al. Speed of visual recovery was faster in the clinic treated patients. A subset of children more than 13 years performed better in clinic treated patients as compared to other studies as well. Children with severe amblyopia had better visual outcome in the clinic treated patients. Compliance, as we know, depends on a wide variety of factors. Although Nisham et al. Had illustrated the benefit of increasing parental knowledge on compliance, however, at rural setting, it is still a major challenge. Thus, amblyopia school, a concept of forced compliance, enhances the initiation of treatment and may boost in the belief of the therapy and thus eventually in the compliance. Limitation of our study was that it lacked randomization and reliability of home treatment. Also, only 3 years of data could be analyzed, and it had a very brief follow-up period as we primarily focused on the initial month. Thus, to conclude, the concept of amblyopia school can be an adjunct to the current treatment modality, especially in the rural population, and can be integrated as a part of local schools under trained teachers. It has limited role in urban life. However, older children and severe amblyopic children may benefit from school integration. These are my references. Thank you.
Moving on to the questions.
Did you consider analyzing the cost difference between the two, the school amblyopia school cost and the home cost?
The cost base, ma'am, the cost base we had basically we had this treatment already being performed for the last 50 years. So then we didn't bring want to bring about any changes. Since our study population was mainly rural patients, they don't have much social expectations and life expectations. I think that's why it worked over here in our institute. They could just our institute has got a big campus and they could be provided easy accommodation in terms of that.
One question.
I mean, this cannot be a viable option everywhere, of course. So we were just wondering, just a thought that we were wondering whether this could be incorporated in schools in the rural setups, or even in urban setups where in children with severe amblyopia who are not too compliant, known to be not too compliant at home.
One more factor. What other factors did you find in your study? There's a lot of studies where they're saying rural population have some type of compliance, means a non-compliant. So what are the factors did you find difference between the school and the home therapy?
The factors.
Yeah,
the prime factors behind the rural. Yeah, ma'am. The prime factor that we felt was the parental illiteracy. And they whatever you explain to them, I mean, they simply don't understand the value of the amblyopia therapy. They don't have the concept to go ahead and think about the treatment. And for them, their day-to-day lifestyle, day-to-day earning means more than the treatment for them. So it's hard.
After 1 month, when you send them back, and same thing, did the school group adherent to your compliance factor, or they again came back?
So we saw a fall in the steepness of the curve. However, the eventual visual acuity was still better in the school treatment patients. So just a thought. We thought that it could be an initial boost in the treatment, and thus maybe enhancing the belief.
Okay.